I've just been to collect a mystery parcel from the post office. I have actually no idea what it is. I thought we'd got all the parcels from Christmas. Yeah, we did all our Christmas shopping online. I thought everything had arrived. I can't think what this would be. It's a Fitbit. Hang on, there's a letter in it. I've won a prize. I've won a Fitbit. It's a Flex 2, so it's the one without the face on it. It's just the lights. Well, that's very nice. I don't know if you could see that. I've never used one of these. Sarah's got one of the other ones, but oh, there you go. It was a competition actually. I entered. I don't even know when it was. Probably October, September, something like that last year, and there we go. Oh, that's a nice surprise. Anyway, back to today. I've got to get onto the gym, do a few bits, and then when I get a chance, I want to talk to you about the 60 kilowatt hour Leaf, the 2018, probably going to be 2019, early part of when it's released, and a bit of a leaked document, possibly, that's going to maybe give us some clues as to what it's going to be like. But a little bit more about that in a bit. Better. Now we can get the day started. If I can get out of this car park. While I'm kind of queuing in this traffic, gives me a chance to start talking to you about I'm going to call it the 2019 Nissan Leaf. Basically, it's a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack. They're hoping it'll be with us at the end of 2018, but if the usual kind of manufacturer's timeframes or anything to go by, it's going to be the early part of 2019. The reason I want to talk about it is because there's been possibly a leak from Nissan giving us a bit more information about it. And it's not just the fact that it's going to be a bigger battery. There's a few other interesting points. So I thought what I'll do, once I get round this lady here who doesn't appear to know how to park, thought what I'd do was take you through the kind of the highlights of it. Now, they are calling this a leaked document. Take from it what you will. It may or may not be true, but if it is true, I think what we've got coming is probably the Nissan Leaf that we all wanted originally, with the extra range and all the rest of it. Something that genuinely could, at a price, compete with the Model 3. So let me start with the first thing. Is probably we knew that it was going to have a slightly bigger motor. So the electric motor is up from in the 2018 Leaf 110 kilowatts. It's going to be 160 kilowatts. So that's a sizable difference, and it takes 2 seconds off the 0 to 60 time. So the 0 to 60 time will come down to 6.5 seconds. So that's not too shabby, I have to say. That's for what effectively is a family car, that's pretty good. But in order to power this, and this is kind of the big news, if you like, that I had no idea about. Maybe it was a bit of an industry secret, I don't know. But we know that Nissan sold their battery making arm of the company, if you like, last year. They obviously have to go somewhere to buy the batteries, and it looks like they're going to go to LG Chem, who are one of the biggest battery producers around. Now this makes perfect sense to me, because they're a massive battery producer. They should be able to produce the numbers that are required, but with what would be a sizable investment from Nissan, hopefully that will also enable them to build more battery plants and give them the ability to produce more batteries, which has to be good for everybody concerned, because the more batteries we can produce, the cheaper the batteries become, and the more affordable the cars become. And maybe that is part of the thinking of why they held off with the 60 kilowatt hour Leaf. I genuinely think that the expense of it when they released it so they announced it a few months ago and it's being released now in the UK. I think a 60 kilowatt hour Leaf would put the price beyond what your Leaf driver, average Leaf driver, would be happy to pay. And I think at the moment most people would rather spend that money on a Model 3 or possibly even look at a used Model S, where give it another 12 months, up this battery production, put the investment in from Nissan. I think the cost of batteries are going to fall, and I think that then the 60 kilowatt hour Leaf will become probably closer to the price of the release of the 40 kilowatt hour Leaf. So with a new battery manufacturer and a bigger battery pack, how's that going to affect the range? Because ultimately that's what we care about, that's what we want. We want to be breaking that 200 mile barrier and beyond. And for it to be competitive, it needs to be in the same bracket as the Chevy Bolt and the Model 3. Otherwise, people are just going to ignore it. Well, they're expecting it to go from the 150 miles of the 40 kilowatt hour Leaf to about 225 miles, and that would be realistic when you also consider, and this is the other big surprise, they're looking at a thermal control for the battery, so keeping the temperature constant, so we don't have this cold weather drop off or hot weather drop off. It just maintains the temperature, and that's something that Nissan and the Nissan Leaf have never had before, and it's been a criticism, but I think with the smaller batteries it would be something that would be really difficult to power apart from anything else, but the cost of it and all the rest of it. But once you start getting into these bigger batteries, I think it needs it, and if you believe this document, then that is what is going to come on the 60 kilowatt hour Leaf. And I think that coupled with the bigger battery and the LG producing the battery cells, realistically that range is very, very achievable. I think it would definitely make a big difference above and beyond just an increase in power. So with all this extra range, we need to charge it, and the 2018 Leaf, it comes with a 6.6 kilowatt charger on board as standard. The old 3.3 has now been dropped, which is good news, because things move on, and we want to be able to charge our bigger batteries quicker. So how are they going to overcome that with the 60 kilowatt hour battery? They are going to put a bigger onboard charger in it. Now, whether this will be an option as it used to be in this model Leaf, or whether this will come as standard, I don't know, but they're talking about an 11 to 22 kilowatt charger on board, which would massively increase or decrease the charge times. So if that's part of this new package, that will complement a bigger battery really nicely. We won't be able to use that, most of us at home. Certainly my home charger runs at 7 kilowatts, and that's as big as I could have gone at the time. But when you're out and about, some of these shopping centres, they're installing these bigger chargers now. That will be very usable. And when you then couple that also with the DC fast charging, so at the moment the maximum is 50 kilowatts, they're going to up that to 100 kilowatts. So we're seeing all these new cars coming out now with much faster fast or rapid charging. They are going to keep pace. They're going to go to 100 kilowatts. Now I know it's nothing like the 350 kilowatts that we are seeing is going to be achievable in the next few years, but I think that for a car that's going to be released hopefully within the next 12 months is a reasonable or very good upgrade. It's certainly twice the speed that we're on at the moment. I think if that's the package that they're going to put together, as I said before, that's kind of, if I had a wish list for the 2018 Leaf, that's what I wanted. That's where I wanted it to be. So perhaps now in 12 months time, that car that I and probably most other people wanted will be available, and breaking that 200 mile barrier, that absolutely makes it your perfect family car, and you shouldn't have too many problems with long distance travel. But we'll see. As I said at the start, that comes with a bit of a warning. That is a leaked document that we don't know whether there's any truth or not in it. It kind of makes sense to me, but we'll see. I'll put a link at the end of the the comments for you to have a look at. Hopefully the link will continue to work. Hopefully that won't get taken down, but have a look for yourself and see what you think. And you know, do you agree? Do you think that that's the Nissan Leaf that we want, or are they missing something, or what are your thoughts on it? That for me is it today. I've still got loads to do around the house, so I will say goodbye for now. If you've enjoyed today's vlog, remember to like and share it, and if you're not doing so, subscribe to the channel. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at EVOpinion, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.